Okay, cool. Looks like we're live. Awesome. And so this is what would we say, round 2?
Yes.
Yeah.
Of the Google Grow with Google Udacity collaboration goodness. So, all right, I guess everybody introduce themselves while we wait for maybe people to come in and maybe talk about how far we've gotten with the program this week since the last broadcast.
I'm John. On Slack, my handle is JCR08. If you're here right now, it's probably because you saw the post that I put in about a half hour ago. And as of Wednesday, I have actually finished the course.
Nice. We'll talk about like what you plan on doing now. Since Miss D.
I'm Deetra. I think it's still, my handle is still DDSHEARD. I am actually on.
I actually think you're just Deetra.
Oh, am I just Deetra now? I did change it.
Yeah,
so it's just DETRA. It's shorter. I am actually on lesson 6, quiz 6.
Oh, okay. Somebody actually had a question about in the chat room, lesson 6.
Did they?
Dwayne and yeah, they did. They had a question. So we'll shout them out soon. But yeah, so I'm Dwayne. It's Dwayne on the Slack, DWANE, and it's been pretty hectic at work this week. And then plus there was like 2 meetups, and so I am on the animal trading card though. So I kind of have it planned out, but I haven't actually done any coding to it because it's been a hectic week and I've been preparing for other things coming up. So, but I did like read through the lesson and I know what to do. I just have to do it. All right. So now if anybody wants to join the chat room, actually anybody in the chat room that wants to join the video, I'm actually going to post the link just in case if you want to check it out.
Yeah, I posted the link too, but yeah, I mean.
Oh, you did in the chat room?
I was going to say in the Slack I posted it, but that was pretty quick sometimes. So that was a half hour ago. That message could be gone.
Yeah, come join us.
Yeah, cool. Yeah, I just posted it. You just click that. Make sure you have some headphones on, and yeah, ask any questions. Let us know how it's going for you. You know what I mean? It's cool because we've got like we're all at different levels and things now. Like as far as how far we proceeded through the course thus far. So, you know, we're trying to catch everything. Shouts to Lynn, said this is her first time. How long have you guys been doing this? This is actually the second session. And the first one was actually Sunday. And we have a thing we're going to on this upcoming Sunday. So, yeah.
Yeah, so we're busy. We wanted to make sure that we at least did something to help anybody out.
Yeah, because the most important thing with this is consistency as far as going through the program, even if it's just a little bit, as long as you're putting in an effort, you know, consistently.
Yeah.
You guys be good. Mm-hmm. Shouts to Alanori. Did I say that right? You were from Kentucky. Nice. Hey, Judy from Deerfield Beach. She forgot her headphones, so she said next time. Oh, sorry, your back hurts. That's yeah, I'm sorry about that. But thanks for checking us out. Anybody else before we start?
Hey, Lynn, so probably won't be every Friday and Sunday.
Oh yeah.
I think going forward it'll probably be every Sunday. But we have the 3 of us have an event to go to this Sunday, so that's why we pushed it to Friday.
Yeah.
So probably next Sunday we'll do it, unless everybody prefers Friday. I don't know. I think we'll figure out what works best. But
yeah, let's
every Sunday after this week.
Yeah, hit us up on Slack.
Yeah.
I got Alanori right. Nice score. All right. So let's so while we're waiting for people to ask questions, so John, how so you're finished, huh, buddy? How'd that work out for you? Like what like how often were you working on it? What was your schedule to where you were able to finish it, you know?
I was working on it pretty consistently. I was doing, 5-6 hours a day of doing it.
All at one time, or were you taking breaks or what have you?
Not sporadically throughout the day. I was doing an hour or two here, maybe an hour there. Watch even just a video at one point, do a quiz. I definitely spread it throughout my day. But I will say that, as I know, like Judy was with us last time, the three of us have all actually went to a front-end boot camp. So we're not coming into this fresh. So there was a good chunk of it that I already knew. And I think that clearly played a big role of how I was able to finish it so quickly. But I'll say that there was some stuff in the JavaScript that threw me for a loop.
No pun intended.
I actually used it because I made a post this morning on Slack and someone made that pun. So I wanted to throw it in there.
Nice.
And I will say that the final project was hard too. I was very excited when I got it to work the way I did. But then, of course, like anything else, and this is why it's important to show your work. As soon as I posted on the Slack, I had like 3 people immediately comment back about stuff that wasn't working correctly. So again, when you think you're all done and ready, share it because someone will find something wrong with it.
Exactly. That's why it's when you do find a position or what have you, they have these things called peer programming or like code reviews. Mm-hmm. Because I mean, even like the greatest programmers will miss something, because sometimes you're just looking at code for so long that you're like, oh, it all starts to kind of just blend, and you're like, you get to a point where I just want to get it done, and so somebody that can come in with some fresh eyes, be like, oh, yeah, there's this thing that you may have missed, and it just comes quickly to them.
Exactly too, and with anything else too, whether it's coding or just writing in general, when you're looking at it, you know what you had wanted it to say. So a lot of the time you just kind of overlook typos or things like that. And as anyone at this point, I'm sure knows, if you have a typo, that's your code not working. So
Lynn
asked, quickly realize how bad of a typist you are.
And a lot of times the keyboard matters also, because not every keyboard on every computer or laptop is made the same. And I find myself, I think maybe it's because I have a cover on my MacBook, but it is just like the worst thing to type on. But like my HP here is pretty good because it's a little bit more responsive. So I don't know if anybody else has that.
Have you taken the cover off?
No, I haven't, because I don't want to mess it up.
Try it, because I have the same cover on my keyboard. Like I have this on my keyboard, and it makes a drastic difference when it's on as opposed to when it's not.
Yeah, but I'll give it a shot. Whatever.
To answer your question, Liz, I am horrible at staying focused. That is why I put it up here, a little bit there. The main thing that honestly does help me is going to Starbucks. Working anywhere outside of my house. As soon as I'm in my house, I will block and say, you know what, I'll take a break, come back to this, and I play like 2 hours of video games, make lunch, do laundry, and a million other things, and I end up not getting back to it. Like just today, perfect example, I planned on going to a Starbucks for like 2 hours to work on this one other project, not having to do with Google. hit a roadblock within like 5 minutes of being there. And I know that if I was home, that would have been it. I was going to be done for the day. Stayed in Starbucks for like 5 hours until I figured it out. So yeah.
So what do you think?
Separating yourself from that distraction.
You got like a delay. What is it that you think, like, especially like programmers, it just seems like coffee houses are the place to go. I don't, you would think with expensive laptops and liquids all over the place, you would think people would be like, I don't know about that one. Like, why do you like it? Because me, I'll go to like a library or something where there's no food or liquid.
Quiet in the library for me. I need that little bit, not necessarily the noise, but the movement. So if I do need to look up, I'm not just looking at a stack of books or other people just quietly typing away. It's same thing with, honestly, kind of working in like a cubicle, which obviously we worked together for a bit. Like that was the worst thing in the world. The two of us in a room with no other noise.
Yeah, back to back.
Drove me crazy.
All right.
Yeah, it's easier. I think it's easier to focus. Like you said, John, for me, the same thing. Like if I'm home, I find everything else to do other than what I should be doing. I went to Starbucks today and actually got some stuff done, but it was noisy.
Yeah.
So for me, I like both. I like the library and I like Starbucks. I just need a place that I'm confined outside of my house to get stuff done.
Yeah. Well, like me, I mean, I will typically put my headphones in anyway. It's not so much the noise of the Starbucks, it's the movement, the commotion, I guess. Being able to look up and take a 2-second break to, you know, watch the lady throwing a fit because they put too much steamed milk in her drink or something like that. It helps break it up just a little bit. But yeah, again, to each his own, whatever works for them.
Sure. Yeah, I think you just kind of have to experiment.
Depends on what you're doing.
And see what works for you.
Yeah.
You know, because yeah, it does take a lot of focus if you're at home. Like if you have kind of like a spare room or what have you, then if you can like lock the door or whatever and just, you know, focus. So about how long do you guys do a stint for? Like you studying, when do you know to take a break?
I mean, I think today at Starbucks was the longest stint for me. Sitting and actually staying concentrated. Normally for me, I don't really decide that. My mind just starts to waver, and I know that unless I get up and step away even for 5 minutes, I'm going to just never come back to it. As soon as I start to lose focus, I need to step away for a second and resituate myself.
All right. D?
I think 2 or 3 hours for me is good. But at the same time, I have to, when I'm home, I have to realize to kind of make it like a job, make it like I'm at work. So even though there are other things I need to do at in my house, don't stop and do it then. Like, you know, at 5 o'clock or 4 o'clock, you know, like, okay, that's your after work time. And that's what I'm trying to transition into, because I'll just stop, you know, either I'll get stuck or like John, my mind will start to wander, and then I'll go do stuff in the house, which really can be done later. Sure. So I'm just trying to find that focus to stay on task.
Treat it like a job, I guess.
Yeah. Like, you know, I'm here. Don't go, you know, doing laundry or sweeping the floor.
Yeah, I think a lot of times it's, for me, I'll try to switch it up. It'll still be like coding related. So maybe I'll watch like one of the lessons or what have you, watch the video. And then I'll look at like an example or what have you. Or if there's something in the video or in the like the coursework where I was like, oh, let me look more into that, more in depth, and I'll go research that or what have you. You know, read some of the Mozilla Developer Network stuff, or maybe even watch like another YouTube video that kind of explains it as well. You know what I mean? And so,
yeah.
So I think And then somebody mentioned Judy said that studies 25 minutes on lessons each day, and then does JavaScript exercises, CSS games, and forums. So that's also pretty good. And then even also because
having a schedule.
Yeah, and there's even like a Slack channel. We're using the Slack also. So even if you kind of don't even really want to do hardcore coding, even going into the Slack channels and just replying to things, or just asking people and helping out people, I think that'll kind of help you. Because I don't know if you ever notice, sometimes I'll get stuck on something, but then I'll go do something else, and I think in the back of my brain I'm still working on it, and it's almost like when I'm not solely focused on something, it will come to me. I'm like, oh, I could do that, and I'll kind of go back to it.
To me, that goes back to the rubber duck theory. So if any of you don't know,
explain that.
Yeah, I don't remember who really said this or came up with it, but basically, it's the idea of just talking out your problems, either to an inanimate object or just someone else. Whether they know about coding or development. But typically that process of physically saying and explaining your problem out loud, rather than just thinking it in your head, because the way you think and the way you talk are it's two different things pretty much. So you're gonna explain it differently saying it out loud than you would think about it in your head. And usually that's all it takes to figure out a problem, of why your for loop isn't working, or why your CSS isn't centering properly, things like that. So I can't tell you how many times at our boot camp, we had a whole little army of rubber ducks that everyone would talk to. You would think that we were all crazy people, but it worked. Anytime you have a problem and you're stuck on something, say it out loud. Say it to your cat. Say it to your dog. Say it to your significant other. But just saying it out loud will help you through so many problems.
Then Alanori also brought up, which is a good topic. That's why I broke this out. They say I have too many tabs open, and yeah, believe me, I'm the king of mad tabs and mad windows. One monitor has nothing but CSS, HTML references, and YouTube. Then the other has my open project and Atom. True. So they have multiple screens, and I was going to show this. Like I got this my time at the Iron Yard, and this is awesome. So it's a. Sorry.
There's a whole thing on Slack this morning. People were talking about screens, and there was one guy raving about the screen.
Oh yeah, this is amazing. Like it's portable, and it has a kickstand right here, and all you do is it hooks up with your USB, and it's powered by your USB. I've seen some where you need it comes with its own cord, you have to plug that in, but this is super portable. It is the AOC. You can find it on Amazon. That's where I got it from. So AOC. Don't ask me what that stands for. And this is the E1759 FWU. And I'll probably just post a link or what have you, or the name of it.
You said it was like $100 or something like that, right?
Yeah, it wasn't expensive at all. And it was like this helped me out a lot during our time at the Iron, even now, at work and stuff. So, and it's USB monitor. That's probably the category you want to look for. And they probably got better ones now. So, but this thing is awesome. It even comes with like a carrying case, and it fits right in my bag with my laptop, and I'm good to go. So, yeah. So that's one thing. Sometimes you feel like you're overwhelmed. If you get like another monitor and you're able to spread things out, I think that helps a lot.
Yeah. So. I don't have one, but when we were Iron Yard, I highly enjoyed using the monitors there. That's probably one of the things that a long time ago, instead of the other dumb things I typically buy. But
I'm right there with you. I feel like I probably still need one, even though when I'm home, I have my computer, but it's not the same as just like dragging from one screen to the other.
Exactly.
Okay. Let's see. Alanori says, going back to something regarding typing, one of their challenges was to match the font of the buttons with everything, but they forgot to capitalize the S for the font family Open Sans. Yeah, sans serif. Yeah, that's the thing. But I think a lot of debuggers are getting even better to where it'd be like, hey, did you mean this or what have you? Like I think this Adam might have maybe we'll pick that up. I'm not sure, but if not, there's probably some sort of plugin for it or something. But yeah, you have to like triple check things. Sometimes I'll just write something and then I'll kind of put it away and come back to it and look at it again with fresh eyes.
Yeah. That's another thing too. Yeah, always put comments in your code. So if you do come back to it, you remember what you were doing or what you needed to figure out later. And Adam, I don't know if it's a thing for every text editor. I'm sure it is. I'm pretty sure if you just type like in your JavaScript to do in all caps, I know there's a way it works, but it actually works as a comment, but literally makes you a little to-do app of what you want to do in your code.
Really?
And I think that's built in. I don't think that's a, let me play with it right now real quick. I don't think that's...
You want to screen that, share that with us? Because I didn't know about that there, bud.
Let me play with it first, so I don't look like a liar. And then once I have it, I'll screenshot it.
But there's also
share it.
What is it, the Pomodoro technique or something, where you focus on something for I think it's like 20, 25 minutes, and then you take a break, and then you get back at it, something like that. And they have like music. I think if you go on YouTube or whatever, I think it's the Pomodoro technique. I think there's actually like videos that are like 20 minutes long. So you focus while the music is playing. It'll have like a break, and you come back for like another 20 minutes. Hey, we got somebody joining us. All right, who's this? Always good to have new people. Hi.
Hi.
How you doing? I guess is your video not working or?
No, it is, but I'm in a house with a whole bunch of people.
Oh, true. Nice. Well, thank you for coming up. What's your name?
Teresa.
Oh, nice, Teresa. How you doing?
Good.
Hi.
Where are you calling us from?
I am currently in Texas.
Oh, wow, nice. What part of Texas? If you don't mind me asking.
I don't
Texas.
know. I'm visiting.
Oh, Texas is the place you want to know where you are. There's a lot of deserts out in Texas, so you kind of want to make sure.
No kidding. No, I'm at Fort Hood.
Oh, wow. I don't even know where that is. Okay.
That is somewhere in Texas.
I have a friend at her husband just got stationed at Fort Hood, actually.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
Yeah.
Is it like a small town or?
You know, I flew here and I've been traveling for about a year and a half, so I haven't even had a car. And this time around, I have barely been outside. So I would say it's a big base, but small town.
Oh, wow. Okay. Kind of like
The
a
base
college
makes the
town.
town.
I've done this. So
I'm sorry, what happened?
I said I've never done this before. What are we doing?
Oh, we're just talking about our experiences and any tips and tricks, or if you have any problems while doing the Grow with Google Udacity course. So how far are you along?
I'm probably about lesson 12, but I actually took another class. So some of mine I'd already done, so I've been going back over it. The only thing is, when you've done it, you kind of like get lazy about reading it properly.
Yeah. I know how that is, yes.
Yep.
But I love it.
So you mentioned you took it before, or you took another course before,
right.
You said.
Right.
So what course was that?
The full stack nano degree, but I took it as a connect, and it was a pilot program for Reno. And so we had 3 months to do it. And to be honest, I didn't learn a lot because we had to finish it so fast. So I finished it, but I really don't know what I did. So I kind of feel like I'm taking this class so I could understand what I did now.
True. Yeah, and that's kind of like where I'm at also. Just because you can never have too strong of a foundation, I believe.
Right.
And
Well,
so,
this is my foundation. I should have had this first.
Yeah, like, yeah. I mean, with things always changing, like even HTML, like with HTML5 and all these
Right.
things, there's always new stuff coming out. So it's always kind of good to just go back and catch a refresher and get caught up and everything. So yeah.
Right. So where's everybody else now? Like, I mean, where are you guys in the lessons?
Oh, I'm doing the animal trading card. So things have been super busy at work, and I'm doing a presentation on Monday, which I need to really finish. And then I have a radio show on Saturdays, so I need to put that together as well. So it's going to be an eventful weekend, hopefully very productive for me, which means no sleep.
I'm on lesson 6.
And how do you
through.
Your name?
Oh, I'm Deetra.
Deetra? Oh, that's
Deetra.
I love it.
Oh, thanks. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you too.
Is anybody saying? I see some things
are we
popping
on
up in the
me?
chat.
In regard to me, I'm actually finished with the course as of Tuesday or Wednesday. I don't work right now. I'm in between jobs, so I also have a lot more time to have worked on it. So, but yeah, I'm finished as of this week.
So Teresa, about how we were talking earlier about how much time we kind of put in. Is there how do you do the course? Is it just whenever you find time, or do you have like a schedule?
I can't have a schedule. We have a new baby and a very special needs little boy, and
right.
we are up 24/7. So like you sleep when you can, you work when you can. So, in fact, I was actually on my phone reading some of the class work when I saw you guys had the live thing going. So I came back upstairs and said, I'll hop on the computer real quick. But I try to get 15 minutes here and there, like many times throughout the day, because that's about what it takes. And when I did the full stack nano degree, I would say the majority of time I was working 6 to 8 hours a day, every day.
Nice. Now, would you take breaks in between there? I mean, like, how did you split that up, or are you just going at it?
Well, for this one, for the 15 minutes, if I could sit for an hour or two and do it, I do it. And if I can't, then, I just get on the phone or I get on the computer and read or watch videos. Sometimes at night, I'll just put on the videos. I wish it would just keep running, but I would put on the videos and just listen, because I figured even if I didn't hear most of it, if I got just one extra thing by listening again, that would be a bonus. Because the biggest thing I can say is, coming from the other class and them doing it the way they did it, where they just did it way too fast for everybody graduated the day we're supposed to graduate out of all the people, not one person.
Wow.
So it didn't work. It didn't work. And when we were done a month later, only 6 of us had graduated. And I think the class started with 27 and ended up with like 14 the last day of class that I was there. Wow. I had to travel, so I didn't get to stay for the last month. I was alone. But
and so that was like you guys met up and did it? How'd that work? Like,
we met up once a week and we had a leader. But as I said, they had never done this in Reno before. And the leader was amazing. The problem is, the leader was so good, he would say, oh, you don't need to use this, and, cut out some of these things that Udacity was showing us to use.
Oh,
so
okay.
But then when you leave class, when you leave that Saturday and you go home, you've got a whole week, and you don't know how to do what he just taught you, and you don't know how to do what Udacity did. And I would say, had I not left that last month where everybody else was still in class, had I not left, I probably would not have graduated. Because I finally got to put aside all this extra stuff. Like, he had us download PyCharm and...
Oh, you're doing Python stuff. Okay, nice. Yeah, I've been using PyCharm at work.
Well, we did everything.
Wow.
So we learned like about 6 or 7 languages. But all this in 3 months, so you didn't really.
Yeah, wow. You just kind of got some sort of exposure to it. It wasn't really anything. Yeah. You got to know the name of it.
Yeah, if it had been, say, 6 months, I think it would have been great. But I think it was just too short. As I said, if nobody graduated on time, that right there tells you it just didn't work.
Yeah, definitely.
Pretty much, yeah.
But honestly, if you do this. I would say sometimes it's tempting to get so hung up on something and you say, you know what, I'm just going to go to the next part. But I will tell you, it's so progressive. If you don't learn the thing before, you really get lost.
Oh yeah.
You don't have to
100%.
remember it, but you have to learn it.
Exactly. And I think that's why it's also good to utilize, like if you get stuck, I mean, and really truly stuck where you have no, clue what to do next, I would suggest going to like the Slack
Yes.
or the forums, because I mean, they actually have like sections based on where, the different lessons and things. So I'm sure there's somebody else that has the same problem, and then they have the mentors there that can always help out. So yeah, I would always ask for help.
Have any of you taken the Udacity course?
No, I've never taken like an actual online course before. A lot of it was just like hobby coding and just watching YouTube videos and reading tutorials, but never like a full like do this thing. And so it wasn't until actually the three of us went to the Iron Yard, which John is wearing the shirt now, and yeah, it wasn't until
them, so it's
very nice.
Like what I wear every day. So.
So it wasn't until the Iron Yard where I actually had like a structured learning environment for coding.
Yeah.
Before I was just hopping on to different things like, oh, this is cool. Let me figure out how to do this.
That's exactly where I was. The reason I was asking is I wanted to say that after, having done this now for a while, I would say to use the form when you get really stuck on, say, a project. And usually there's better help there. But if you want quick help and people who are, like they'll talk to us and they'll be nice and cheer for us, then go to Slack.
Okay, that's good.
Oh yeah, 100%. And with Slack too, they have a channel for every single lesson. So
yes,
there will be people that have either already finished those lessons or are working on the same things. Too, if it's somebody who's stuck on the same thing, if you talk to them, for everybody listening to, that sometimes helps you learn better also.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely.
By working it through with someone rather than having someone explain it to you, you'll learn it and it'll stick with you too. So
fully agree. Also, direct messages are amazing because sometimes, on Slack, it's hard to put so much information up or to write so many like sometimes your head's just going crazy and you're asking what you think sound like stupid questions, but the direct message is amazing for that.
Yeah.
Yeah, Slack can get very hectic, and I believe the forums also have different topics for each lesson as well. And
right, you can create whatever's not there.
Yeah, from what I've seen, because the thing is with the Slack, I think that was the 10,000 messages limit. Yeah, I think that goes across everything, all channels. So sometimes if it's a very busy channel, stuff from even the day before will be gone because it's just a lot of people just posting things. So whereas the forums, I think you can go back a lot further because I don't believe there are any sort of limits. So you can go back further, I think,
Right. There's a lot more to search for and probably find your answer before you even ask.
Yeah, because Slack would somebody might have answered it, but then it's gone because the limit has been reached and it's, archived where we can't get to it.
Right.
And then speaking of the Slack channel, Judy says, I feel like the individual Slack channels aren't as busy as they used to be. Does anybody else feel that way?
Yes and no. I feel that they're still busy during certain times of the day. But yeah, I mean, the fact that I can go on right now and still find a post that I put up over an hour ago, slowing down.
I mean, I think that's just like with anything. It's like New Year's resolutions. People get excited, and they're all about it the first couple of weeks. But then, like we were saying before, you kind of find excuses for things and you're like, I'll get to that later. And then 3 months pass by, like, oh, crap.
I think too, as we get used to how to manage it and organize it for ourselves, it seems less crowded also, just because now we know exactly how to skip things in our mind.
True.
Yeah.
Getting used to the way Slack works and things. Congrats, Alanori. They finally beat the Slack card challenge. Nice, congratulations. That's cool.
Yeah.
Nice. Yeah, people. It's like the greatest feeling when you get stuck on something and then you actually figure it out and you're like, oh, this is awesome.
Mm-hmm.
The trick is making sure that you know what you did to make it work, so that you can reproduce that. Because sometimes, like, I have no clue how that worked. I'm good. That's cool. Then, of course, that same problem will happen again later.
I mean, I will say that is kind of what happened with the stuff I was stuck on today. I kind of know why it's working now, but if faced with the same problem, I'd probably have to research it again.
Yeah.
But I think this is a common thing that a lot of developers will face. In regards of if any of you have been doing it long enough to have done API calls, and if you've ever come across a CORS issue. So like I said, I know basically it's just a cross, what is
CORS? Cross-origin restriction, something like that? Restriction.
Yeah.
Something. It's basically,
yeah,
you can't, it's not allowing you, where you're trying to call, doesn't like, you're not allowed to make calls to it. So it's basically telling you,
typically,
hey,
if you're on, especially if you're working on a local server or a local host, because it doesn't know where you're calling from, it won't allow you to get the information from it. And it's just a pain in the neck. And
a lot of times it's because if you don't have the HTTPS, if you're just doing HTTP, then it thinks you're not secure. And it's just like, I'm done.
Yep. And that was actually doing a project for freecodecamp.com, working on their Wikipedia. And it did not, the Wikipedia API is not that great. Now that I have it figured out, it's great, but it took me 5 hours to get there.
So what was the problem? Just in case if somebody else has, you know.
In my API call, so I had to do an AJAX call, and I needed to just include
like in the headers or something?
That it was going to be a data type JSON P, and then at that point I got it, but I got another error about I think it was called a MIME error.
Oh yeah, that's for the
that
type.
It wouldn't accept the data type text/JSON. So I ended up having to put in the header that the data would come back as origin asterisk, so that it would just accept any data type or data that came back pretty much.
Okay, cool. Yeah, that's a whole thing where, because when you make calls, you can actually say what type of calls that you want to make. You know, it's kind of like you're introducing yourself to the server and be like, hey, hi, I'm safe. Please, can I?
Also going back to talking about forums, I know Free Code Camp is something separate. If I had just went to the Free Code Camp forum to begin with, I would have had the problem solved, because that's where I ultimately ended up finding my solution. But I went everywhere else on Google first. Your favorite man in the world, the Code Train guy.
Oh, he's the man.
I watched like an hour of his videos, and he didn't help me at all.
Well, I think he's figuring a lot of that stuff out too.
Him building the Wikipedia thing that I'm trying to build, and the way he did it did not work for me.
Well, so it might have changed, because that's the thing. A lot of times, like if it's an older video, you're like, oh, okay, because APIs change a lot sometimes to match like whatever the current like specs are. and things. So it's kind of, yeah. Eleanor says they actually have a small amount of past experience. Nice. If anyone knows about ARMA 3, we had military simulation units, and they had to write some scripts for them, which made them learn SQF syntax in scripts. Oh, that's just a lot of random letters to me. So that's good that you learned. I think any programming experience, like exposure, helps. It gets you into kind of like the mindset that you need in order to create code and write code. So, yeah. All right, so we got about 20 minutes left. So, John, now that you're done, you mentioned Free Code Camp. What are you going to be doing now that you're done with the Grow with Google? What are your plans?
So I'm gonna.
You still have like 2.5 months left, so.
Yeah, I'm gonna switch back between a couple of things. Between doing Free Code Camp, I'm gonna use the site lynda.com and things on YouTube because I want to start touching on learning WordPress as well. But then I'm also going to be going back and really making the projects in this my own. I saw someone post a cool thing yesterday about the card, the playing card, and they had redesigned a Pokemon card.
Oh, yes.
And they had made a Charmander card, which for those of you that don't know, it's a little lizard type thing, and it's got a flame on its tail. And it looked just like the Pokemon card, but the flame on the tail actually like shimmered. So like it was actually an effect. So I want to go back and work on that. I have an idea for the final project, which for those of you that might not have peeked ahead or know what it is, it's basically a pixel art maker. So you're able to define the grid size you want to do, what colors you want, and then you basically just fill in the different squares. Picture. I want to do something like that, but give you the option to be able to log in and actually save your pictures. Just, again, taking the projects. I like Free Code Camp because they give you a project and they give you something to work off of. And then that gives you the ability to, make it your own. Because I'm also not creative in the aspect that I'm going to be able to come up with my own projects. So anything that gives me ideas for projects that I can build and then make my own is exactly what I need. Cool. And you learn something new no matter what. So.
Did you ever figure out that Atom to do thing you were mentioning earlier?
Yeah, it's not that complex, honestly. You just type to do, TODO in all caps.
Like as one word or 2 words?
One word.
Okay.
And in my Atom, it comes up automatically. It's still just a comment, but there are then actually other packages you can add on to Atom. Which will then kind of give you another little screen on the side, which will be your quote unquote to-do list. So that you can also keep track of all of the to-dos that you have, where they are, what it says.
Oh, so once you type it into the editor, it will populate on the side.
But so the to-do is just built into Atom, and then it kind of makes it a separate color. So as you scroll through, you'll be able to see it.
Oh, okay.
The package is something you have to download to make it come up on the side.
But I'm saying, so you would just type it into your code and it would automatically know to put it on the side for you. Or do you have to put it in the side also?
Yeah. No, it'll automatically, like it checks the code. And anytime it sees it to do, it adds it to the list.
Oh, that's cool. Nice.
So
nice.
I know I used to have one. I'm trying to find it. I don't know why I don't have it anymore.
Yeah, John was the king of like packages for Atom. Literally like every week of the Iron Yard, he would have like 10 different packages. I'm like, yeah, I keep it stock. I'm cool. I think I put on like Emmett. And I was like, awesome.
Yep. Emmett,
can you do Linter too?
Yeah, I think so. I think
any shortcut keys that I can have. I don't care if it goes from me having to type 4 keys to only having to type 3 keys. That's one less finger I have to use. So
Nice. All right, cool. So we got like about 15 minutes. D, were you planning on anything? What's your plan of attack coming up?
To get through a lot more of this, my goal is to be a lot farther and closer to finish by the 4th of February.
Oh, you want to be done by? Okay. All right. Nice.
Well,
Teresa?
I won't have as much time. Starting on Friday, on that 5th of February. So.
That's right. Hey, congratulations. I don't know if you want to say. So it's set in stone. Like that's good. Like you were good. Like that's a real thing.
That's how they're talking. Like no one said this is official. Everybody's like, okay, gotta do this. This is the next step. This is the next step. Oh yeah, your start date is the 5th of February. So yeah.
Wait,
I think
so they gave you a start date.
Mm-hmm. I have a start in it. Yeah.
You want to tell people, or do you want to say it on the show, or what you doing?
I have a 3-month internship at a media company in Orlando, which will start on the 5th of February. So I'm trying to get as much of this, get through as much of this, and also just as a good reminder and refresher from the Iron Yard.
Did they tell you what you're going to be doing?
Getting coffee.
No, it's a little bit of, it's a vague description. Like most of the time they have some front end stuff, a little bit of back end, but the title is web developer. So
okay, and then you want to tell folks how you got it.
To learn.
Yeah, exactly. As long as you get like real world, opportunities. So how'd you come across this opportunity?
Eric put me in contact with the recruiter from CareerSource. And
Eric was like the program director,
campus
director of the Iron Yard.
Mm-hmm.
And okay, nice.
So
cool.
I'm still waiting for you to send me his information.
Oh, wow. Let's just do that now. His name is Jacob.
Called out on Hangouts on air. All right.
I know.
I tried to be nice about it for weeks at this point.
For a week? Wait a minute. Didn't we just talk about this last night?
Yeah, you've been talking about this guy for like 2 weeks. Yeah.
So we went to the and I'll stress this more and more, but going to meetups and local meetups, very important if you're trying to do anything. Well, I guess it was last night. Yeah, last night met somebody who's leaving EA Sports to go and moving to travel down south to work at Magic Leap, the AR augmented reality company. And so you never know who you're gonna meet at these things. I met a guy that used to work at Tesla. They're like it's you never know who's like right in your area until you go out to stuff. So I would highly suggest everyone checking that out. And I think somebody actually asked about having like difficulties setting up local meetups. And yeah, I mean, as far as, because the thing is, Orlando is very spread out. You know what I mean? Where I live is like the edge of Orlando. And then where John lives and where Deetra lives, it is a huge distance. So to try and get people to meet
technically out of the three of us, I'm the only one that lives in Orlando.
No, my address, my city is Orlando. So I'm on the border. I'm real close.
Oh.
Exactly. Orlando's huge. It's huge. And so, yeah. So
that's crazy.
Just for me to get downtown takes me on a good day, like 45 minutes to an hour. And that's like with barely traffic. And John, how long did it take you, buddy?
5 minutes.
5 minutes. What the hell? And then Deetra, how long did it take you?
Well, on the train, it takes 45.
Yeah. Mass transit is also pretty good too. So sometimes I'll take the train in because getting downtown with the traffic and all the people, man, sometimes you're better off just doing that.
That makes a difference. The travel time varies drastically depending on the time of day. So, and most of the meetups are like after work time. So taking the train is so helpful.
Yes, definitely. And so if you're having trouble like actually doing physical meetups, you may want to try doing like digital ones like these, and get see who you can get, and then maybe find out who's close to you or what have you. But I think it's important to meet people.
There's actually a digital meetup. I think it's for graphic design or UX, but for the Orlando area. But there's a meetup online, but it's still part of Meetup, and they use Hangouts.
So meetup.com is a great place to find people and things of your interest, groups meeting. So anybody else have any questions? Because about 9 minutes. Oh, Judy says, congrats there, Deetra.
Thank you, Judy.
And yeah, Lynn said, no, Houston is huge. Yes, Houston is
very
large. It's weird because like Orlando is so spread out. So, but we don't really have like a great mass transit. So from where I'm at, there is like no bus to get to downtown. So it's.
Well, there is. You just would probably have to take 4 of them.
No, there is no bus stops where I'm at. Like I told you, I'm on the edge. There's like cows and pastures out here. So
you are outnumbered by cows in your area. So
exactly, cows and buses don't mix apparently. Lynn says more interested in study groups than meetup. Yeah, I mean, you can study through Google Hangouts, I guess.
Yeah.
Well, I'm a big fan of Google Hangouts. And then Judy says there's a WordPress conference in Miami in March.
I'll keep that in mind. Not too far away. But also, Judy, our boot camp, the Iron Yard, cost, what was it, $12,000?
I think it
was like 12.
I think it was 13 with a $1,000 discount or something.
Yeah, you were able to get like a scholarship or something also. So yeah.
But ours also, they closed down in October. So
yeah.
While I think if you put the work in, it got you job ready. Like Dwayne and I got hired right out of it pretty much.
John, help me out with that also, by the way.
One other guy that went with us got hired actually before the course even ended.
And the way he got it, he just went to like a meetup. It was a beer pong, and he was playing beer pong with the CEO, and they got along. And he's like, "Hey, you code?" Like, "Yeah, I like you." Job.
Yep.
But from the other,
last night is the thing. I was talking to a guy who hopefully I'll meet up with next week and go from there. Same thing, just likes my personality, and I have some of the skills he needs. So
exactly, because I mean, it's very important that you're able to work with a person. The person could be like the greatest programmer, but if they're difficult to get along with, it's just
again, I think you and I, Dwayne, have that perfect example.
I was about to say that, like at the job, there was a gentleman who I never really saw any of his code, but from what I understand, like he was supposed to be awesome, but just
really good apparently.
But he didn't make it to where we could see his code. He didn't last long enough to even where it mattered, because I don't even think he wrote like one line of code, and it was kind of like
we kind of joked about it because no matter what, if we said something, he had experience in that, and he was going to be better at it than we were. Like, not even having to do with development. We kind of had a running joke of how many careers he was going to have by the time we finished our project.
and how many things he couldn't tell us because it was like top secret.
Yeah, because he worked for the government in this, and then he was a mechanic, and then he was
like an astronaut. I don't know. But I mean, it was So it's what we're saying is very important to be personable. I think people have a misconception to where it's like, I'm a programmer, I'm gonna be in like a cave or what have you and just code. I mean, once you get to a certain point and people know of you because you put in work, then you could probably get to that point. But if you're just starting out, relationships are very important.
Yeah.
Even the
So-
meetup at Code School, they talked about that a lot, about how just networking, and got a lot of them their jobs. So it's important.
Yes, it's very, very important. And yeah, I mean, and a tip would be, if you can, try to go to a meetup early, because the people who are going to be around are the people who kind of like threw the event. And, that's a good way of, introducing yourself to the people that actually put things together, who are involved within your local community. And then at the end, help clean up. They'll really appreciate it. And anything to kind of like, differentiate yourself.
Stand out.
Exactly.
Or volunteering. I volunteered at Orlando Tech Week.
Yes.
At the end of last year, I met a lot of people, and also because I volunteered, I got to attend the entire conference for the week for free. So it had two benefits.
And especially if you can get behind like the registration table, like everybody comes there, so you will know like what people do. You just ask them like, "Oh, what do you do?" That's a perfect point to, like, while they're writing their name on the little name tags, like, "Oh, hey, what do you do?" And it's cool. It's good. So I guess those would be kind of like tips. Yeah, I don't know why there's not more hangouts. You would think like there'd be like a hangout like every 3 hours or something on the Slack.
You would think. Almost 7,000 people, right?
Right? I think it's even more than that. Like, it's an insane amount of people.
It's
And
crazy.
from all over the place. And you think, I mean, I don't know. I can't call it.
Dwayne, if I know it ended up taking me quite some time to figure it out, but if you want, I can show you the to-do thing real quick. I know we have 3 minutes left. But
cool. Here we go. I always like to do a screen share at one of these things. So, all right, you got the stage, sir.
Screen share. How do I screen share on this?
On the left, a little screen.
I'm not the Google Hangouts.
On the left
inside, you'll see like little green screen with the arrow.
Yeah, share.
There you go.
I'm sharing my screen. Okay.
Why is it showing me? That's weird.
The to-do thing is actually initially built in to Atom. It's a Atom plugin. I'm pretty sure that some other, text editors have that as well. But basically, you just type to do, and you'll see that it pops up. You just hit enter, and it puts it in a special comment, and you can just, type whatever you want. This is to do. And then the next part, I actually had to download 2 packages for. So the first one was actually called To-Do Manager. This actually is what keeps track of the to-dos. The next one, because as you can see here, this package requires bottom dock. Basically, this is just something that allows the thing to pop up on the bottom. And then to add packages, you can just go to Atom preferences and then go down to install. You can just do a search for it and then just install it when it comes up. You have it again if you then go to the instructions. It'll say, so like Control K, Control T will open it. So then just going back, Control KT. I swear it worked 2 seconds ago.
That's how it always is.
Of course, now it doesn't.
Yeah.
Am I doing it right?
That's going to be my life when I do a demo at the presentation. Everything's going to crash and burn.
Control K, Control T. Well, of course it doesn't want to work on me now. Hold on. Oh wait, where can I move that little thing? Bottom tower. Why does it go away whenever I move this little sharing thing? I need to see what's on the bottom of my screen. Okay. Well, I guess I apologize. I let everybody down.
Hey, John, will you add those two links?
Yeah, I'll add them. Like I said, I promise that it did work. And if you're looking, this is also what took me 5 hours to just get this to work for the Wikipedia thing. But
It's
Good stuff.
John, are you planning to
Okay.
do all the challenges, like how they were doing the Pokemon card?
I mean, if I see cool ones that come up, yeah, probably.
Cool. Please share when you do it. I love looking at that. That's so cool.
Oh, definitely. I will. No, I guess that's not working now. Okay, well, I tried. I apologize.
you did good.
I'm sure that once I stop sharing right now, it'll probably work again. And then at that point, I will blame Google Hangouts.
Sure.
Did it stop
Nice.
sharing?
Yes, you're good to go. Yes.
Okay.
All right. So I think that's going to be it for this session. And so thank you, Teresa, for coming on. Enjoy Fort Hood, and I hope you find some time to work on some projects.
Definitely. Thank you so much.
Miss D, thank you very much for coming on.
Yep.
Good luck with everything. Well, I'm gonna see you Sunday.
Thank you. Yeah, Sunday.
Yeah, Sunday,
Yep.
Sunday. And John, sir, thank you very much coming on.
Yep. I'll try to get the to-do thing figured out. So next time I can properly demo it.
All
And
right.
next time will be Sunday, right? Of next week.
Yeah, most likely. I think
Yeah.
we'll
So
discuss it a little more.
like
But
8
I think Sunday
days from now.
Yeah.
Yeah. Not
Yeah.
tomorrow's Sunday, but the following Sunday.
Not tomorrow. It's not Sunday, but
Oh crap.
we know.
Yeah, it's gonna be a long weekend for me. It's
I was gonna say you have a long weekend ahead of you to be messing up already.
It's gonna be awesome. Oh, it's gonna be such a. All right. Cool. Shout out to Alanori. Congratulations again on getting the Slack card worked out.
Mm-hmm.
They said it's nice to sit and listen while working courses. Well, I guess listening to us talking, or hold on.
Yeah, I'm assuming we have such soothing voices.
Oh yeah. So yes. So we're your coffee shop basically.
Yeah.
Actually, got to start on the courses last night due to having to work. Yeah, believe me. You work in retail, all right? Hook me up with a discount. I don't even care what it is, just as long as I get a discount.
Do you want me to give you my discount on my retail?
As long as I can sell it again somewhere. All right.
Can.
Then let me see. So thanks to Lynn for checking out the show. Shout out to everybody else that tuned in. Judy, I think I said Judy already. Alanori. And I think that was everyone. Did I skip anybody? I think that was everyone, right? Awesome. So yeah. So thank you guys. And
you work at a cookie company? Definitely coming to
what?
Louisville, right?
Yeah.
I believe, Kentucky. All right. Yeah.
I mean,
nice.
There's some other good things in Louisville too. So.
Yeah, I know what you were talking about. Yeah.
Cookies
like
and
the liquid kind.
Well, you don't drink, but I'm pretty sure Maker's Mark is right by Louisville. So.
Yeah, because bourbon is a Kentucky thing, right? I think bourbon, right? We had this conversation before. Is it bourbon like only made in Kentucky? We had this conversation one time. Was that okay?
Yeah, it's something like that. Yeah.
All right, so we're kind of rambling now, so it's time to go. So good luck to everyone. Continued success on the Grow with Google course. Once again, thanks to Google and Udacity for providing the opportunity. And yes, Kentucky is bourbon country. Nice. So till next time. So did everybody give your Slack names and stuff real quick?
So my Slack name is JCR08, and I'll type it in here. And like last time too, I put it in the actual comment once the live feed was over.
Exactly. And I'll post the link
Yeah.
to the to check out the USB monitor as well. Extra monitor.
Yeah,
all
that'd
right.
be good.
Deetra, okay, cool. You put it in there. So at Deetra, at
Mine's
DETRA.
obviously at JCR08. But...
And then Teresa, did you want to give out your
At Teresa.
Slack? At Teresa. All right, nice. Okay, cool. So yeah, and I'm Dwayne, DWANE. No extra I, Y, U's, none of that stuff. DWANE. All right, and so till next time.
Look forward to seeing you all again.
I just want to say that the to-do thing just worked. So
of course. Next time. All right.
Yeah.
Thank you. And remember, next time, if you have questions, any challenges, anything you've learned, we'd love to have you on to talk about stuff. So cool. All right. Thank you, guys.
Bye.
Bye.
Good night, everybody. Bye.
Good night.